Check the description for the following discount codes. Bestrewned around the floor here we have the integrated monitor mount for the GT Amiga Prime and the standalone monitor stand as well. Now these are, I mean, they're generic. They can be used on any aluminium profile rig. Doesn't have to be the GT Amiga Prime. It's obviously just what I have here, and these are GT Amiga accessories. We've also got, or I've also got, the triple monitor mount upgrade kit and the quad monitor mount upgrade kit as well, and these apply to both the floor standing stand and the monitor mount that goes onto the rig itself. And you buy the single monitor setup and then you get the upgrade kits that you want to go with it. So it's not like a separate package where you buy a quad monitor setup or a triple monitor setup. You just get the normal floor standing monitor stand or monitor mount, and then you buy the triple upgrade attachment add-on and the quad if you want that as well. So this isn't going to be a very long video. I'm going to get them all built up now in, you know, super fast sped up motion, and then we'll just have a quick look around them, see how sturdy they look, see what sort of adjustment they have, and I'll quickly remind myself of what size monitors they can take. I think from memory the monitor mount can take 4 32-inch and the monitor stand can take 4 42-inch. But don't quote me on it just yet. I will check in a minute before I get further into the video. So let's get these all assembled and have a little look around them. I thought you might just be interested to know the thickness of some of the materials we've got here, because it, you know, it sort of determines the quality and, you know, what you're getting for your money to a certain extent as well. So these monitor mount arms that go on here, these are 10mm, at least they look pretty much bang on 10mm to me. And then we've got the actual bracket that would go on the back of your monitor or TV screen. That looks to be about 3mm, so pretty hefty. And then this is one of the brackets that come from the triple monitor mount kit. There's a few of those where they all sort of extend it out, and this is 5mm. So we've got pretty hefty materials, as you would expect. And I did just double check, it is 4 32-inch monitors fitted to the rig on the mount and 4 42-inch monitors with the standalone setup. And they also recommend that the total weight of all your monitors shouldn't exceed about 50 kilos. But I may actually, in fact I definitely will, I'll hang off of each monitor mount or stand, and I weigh about 90-95 kilos, and we'll make sure nothing bends or twists or breaks. That way you'll see there's probably plenty of overhead when it comes to the weight of your actual monitors. Let's get these built. Well, that actually took a lot longer than I was expecting. In my head, I thought, oh yeah, get the monitor mount and the monitor stand done, built within about an hour. That won't be any problems. So far, we are just over an hour into the video. And aside from that very brief introduction, I've just got the monitor mount fitted onto the GT Amiga Prime itself. Now, the reason it took longer than I was expecting is because when you actually get stuck in, there's lots of measuring and spirit leveling to do to make sure you get your monitor bracket correctly positioned and everything level and aligned so that your monitor doesn't end up sitting on the piss. So yeah, it just took a little bit longer than I was expecting. But it's on here now. I will do a close-up walk around in a little while when I've got the triple and quad attachments on. I just wanted to pause here and just say roughly how long this section took. That includes fitting a TV as well. And this is the smallest TV we've got in the house. And thankfully, it just fits on the supplied VESA or VESA mount bracket that they give us. And this is the one that I've stolen out the bedroom. Katie just come in and said, Carl, why is the bedroom TV on a fucking racing rig. I'm like, yeah, just temporary, it's going back in a while. So we've borrowed the TV out of the bedroom just for this sort of test and demonstration. Obviously I don't have 4 monitors or TVs kicking about to set them all up and demonstrate that. But each bracket is identical. So I wanted to at least get one television fitted to a bracket to be able to see how solid it is and whether we've got any play or any flex or anything. And you know, the other 3 will of course be exactly the same. And I'm happy to say the TV is on here just fine. Like I say, I'll do a close up in a minute at the end when it's all assembled. But yeah, that's on there solid. Oh yeah, the weight limit that they said 50 kilos maximum is definitely a very underrated weight limit, because this bracket, even with a TV on, can quite happily have me flapping around on it without any sort of issues at all. Now obviously when you've got your triple and quad attachments, they will add some additional weight as well, but they're not going to add 90 to 95 kilos, which is what I weigh. So this is a very solid, like I say, there's no issues here at all. Nothing's going to break off. You know, ultimately it's these pieces here, these 3 bolts and the same on the other side, that are taking all that weight. I mean, I was leaning on the top there, I could lean further forward and the result is the same. It's all good, it's all solid. You could put, you know, the heaviest monitors in the world on here as long as they would fit and they wouldn't fall off. So that 50 kilo weight limit is definitely a very conservative figure. One thing I will already say that pretty much renders this useless for me is that the way the bracket works, it holds the TV or your monitor forward of these upright sections. Now, there is forward and backward adjustment here, so you can slide it further back until the bottom of the screen hits these arms. And there is a little bit of adjustment here, forwards and backwards as well. And obviously these uprights do slide backwards and forwards, and then your wheel deck that's out of shot here is adjustable as well. But for me, I don't know whether you'll see my setup over there right now, my screen, being a 55, is it probably sits where the back it finishes here, sits about here, because then I've got my DD1 and a little digital dash in front. And also with that 55, it needs to sit quite low. If I was to try and fit that 55 to this bracket, it would have to hang over the front here, which is fine. It can hang down there, no problem. But then how would I attach a steering wheel base? It would be impossible. And looking at what I've got over there, it does, my wheelbase is actually low enough for the 55 to sit just on top of it, but there would be no room for my little digital dashboard. So annoyingly, I actually wanted to use this bracket for move everything over onto this one and not use that pre-production model anymore. But I don't think, unless, well, what you could do is put this cross member on the back here. No, that wouldn't work. That'd be stupid, Carl. The screen would be in the... Yeah, that wouldn't work. I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little bit of thinking and playing around and see if I can figure out a way to fit my 55-inch screen on here. Otherwise, I'll be using my homemade stand that I've got over there. Or, of course, the standalone stand that I'm yet to build. But, you know, the specification does say up to 332s on this one, although technically this is a 42, so it does fit should you want a single 42. And you could actually go bigger as long as you could get the VESA mount or VESA mount, whatever it's pronounced, to actually fit, which wouldn't be too hard because this is aluminium profile. You can just put T-nut fittings in wherever you want and make them line up, a bit like what I've done with my homemade one. So you could actually go, for single monitor use, you could go way bigger than the 32 they say for this. This is a 42, as I said, but you can definitely fit bigger if you don't mind having the TV, of course, in this forward position of the uprights. So yeah, you could probably, well, if I didn't have my digital dash, my 55 would go forward, assuming I could get the brackets to fit in the right place. That is the beauty of aluminium profile. Even though it's not the prettiest of stuff to look at, it's a bit industrial, it is super versatile, and we do have to appreciate that. But yeah, at the moment, as far as like flex goes, there's no forwards or backwards, oh, that's me lifting the rig off the floor. There's no forwards or backwards flex, and there is a small amount side to side if I apply my weight, but the reality is in use when you're seated and you're using your wheelbase bolted to this, it's not going to move anywhere, and that's what's important. Anyway, I'm going to get the triple and quad attachments fixed on, and then I'll get the camera and do a close-up walk around of this. Time is actually getting on today, so I don't know whether I'm going to break this into 2 videos and do a separate one for the standalone stand, or whether I'm going to have time to get that one built today as well and do it all in one. The reason I wanted to do them all in one is because, first of all, monitor stands are not the most interesting thing to make videos about, and secondly, I'm assuming they're basically identical apart from one bolts onto your rig using these side bits and the other one's just going to have uprights. I don't think anything else differs, so it would almost be a waste of 2 videos. But we'll see what happens. It'll either be at the back end of this video or maybe there'll be a separate video for that one as well. Anyway, enough waffle, Carl. Get on with fitting the rest of the attachments. I just wanted to quickly point out that there's a reasonable amount of swarf in the end of some of these aluminium lengths. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. No, I don't think it is. But basically in the ends here where they get cut, there's actually a reasonable amount of swarf in quite a few of these, which is a little disappointing. It doesn't take much time to blow them out with an airline, either when they're packed or perhaps immediately after they've been cut in production. It's the first time I've seen swarf on anything I've had from GT Amiga, so maybe it's just a one-off, but I thought I'd just mention it as it's not something I like to see. Now I've got the triple attachments on, which in reality is just 2 additional arms and brackets, one here and one the other side, and I've also fitted the quad monitor mount attachment, which is this assembly here. That probably also took about an additional hour, so far about 2 hours in, I reckon. Again, I'll do a little close-up walk around showing you all the adjustments and stuff when I'm completely finished. What I'm going to do now is I've probably got enough time to throw the floor standing monitor stand together as well, just so you can see that at the end as well. But essentially it is just a floor stand with a larger bracket in the middle, and then these attachments bolt on in the same fashion that they do to this. But I'll get it thrown together and I'll show you that as well. So let's get rolling. Another nice little touch I've just noticed with these sort of original style corner brackets, not the beefy ones, as we're doing the uprights of the floor standing monitor stand, they actually have to go what I would call the wrong way. So instead of these little bits here, get in focus. Oh, come on. These little bits here, these little tabs, instead of them slotting into here long ways to give you that up and down adjustment, they need to go 90 degrees and face forwards. So they've provided these little spanners happen to just fit perfectly in here to allow you to break those tabs off like that. Literally just snaps off. So that's a nice touch because it makes breaking them off a lot easier. Previously I'd get a pair of pliers and do it, but these little spanners seem to work a treat. There we go. Lovely. Right, the freestanding monitor stand is now finally assembled. How long did that take? Well, that probably took about half an hour. So that was the fastest of the three things to assemble. Now, much as I suspected, to turn this one into a triple and a quad, you simply bolt on the same bits I've bolted onto this one. So I'm not going to go through the palaver of literally moving these from here to there. It's going to look just like this, but fitted to this. The biggest difference with this floor standing one, or standalone one, is that it comes with these additional sort of brackets here to attach to the VESA mount, which will take them way bigger than what you can on these. Now this is a 42-inch TV fitted here, and that is at the limit of these four extremity bolt holes on these brackets. So these are definitely 40, you can definitely fit a 42 to these, even though it does say 4 32s on here and 4 42s on here with these attachments. I'm going to give a tape measure for a second. What have I done with that? There it is. This is a 42, so I don't know whether we get another, and the bezels are actually pretty small as well. I don't know whether we get another one. I think you probably could. If you were to move this bracket over a bit, I think you could actually get 3 or 4 even 42-inch screens on this one, even though the spec only says 32. Again, the weight's not an issue. If you saw earlier in the video, I literally put all my body weight on this and it didn't even flex, so that's absolutely fine. So I would say 4 42s, assuming you've got thin bezels, but you know, don't shoot me if you buy 4 42s and they don't fit, because I've not actually tried them. It was just a quick offer up with the tape measure. And this one obviously will support the same, but if, like me, you're a single screen hero and you just want one massive screen, it looks like they have thought about that. Now, they haven't told me the biggest size for a single screen, so what I'll do is just measure from one end of your TV mount to the other. So it's 600 from there to there and from there to there. So if you've got a big screen like I have over there, just measure between the 4 bolt holes on the back diagonally, and if there's 600 or less, then it will definitely fit on here. So that's probably what I'll end up using. It would have been nice to have a sort of all-in-one integrated solution like this, but it's just not going to work for me because of the size of my screen. This, on the other hand, looks like it should work just fine, and I'll be able to slide that, you know, around the back and hold my monitor exactly where I want it, both forwards and backwards and up and down. So let me grab that camera and we'll have a quick close-up and I'll show you where all the adjustments are and how it all goes together, and then that will pretty much be the end of the video. I'll just say now, before we do that, I haven't found any issues with anything apart from a bit of swarf where some of the aluminium's been cut, which I mentioned earlier. Everything else has gone together well. It's definitely very, very sturdy. I tried to actually sort of put my body weight on this arm out here, like, which you should really never do, just out of curiosity to see whether these 5mm brackets would bend. But unfortunately, I don't have a counterweight on the other end, so all that's going to happen is I'll tilt the rig over that way. But they do feel, you know, they do feel pretty, I can get a fair bit of my weight on there before it tips. So I wouldn't worry about the 50 kilo weight limit or the 42-inch monitor, 32-inch monitor spec for this one. I'd happily put 4 42s and whatever they weigh on here, and then like whatever else as well, because like I say, I weigh about 90 to 95 kilos depending on how much I've eaten recently. So it's definitely very sturdy, and this of course will take whatever you want as well. This is even more, you know, rugged than what this is. The limiting factor on this would be the brackets that hold it on the side here. This of course doesn't have that. It's just aluminium profile bolted to 8 very beefy brackets at the bottom there, and then there's 4 at the back on either side here for this sort of cross member section as well. Again, I'll show you in a second. In fact, let's stop waffling. I'll grab the camera and I'll show you all these things we're talking about. I suppose we may as well start at the top. Now, each one of these monitor or TV mount brackets are exactly the same as one another. So, in fact, that's a difficult one to show you. So you've got various pre-drilled holes for various size screens. Like I say, these will hold a 42 because that is what is on that one right there. And you've got forward and back adjustment, and that also allows you to twist left and right as well. And then, of course, left to right adjustment across the length of the beam. You've then got adjustment here. You can see these are slotted, one bracket top, one bracket bottom. I think this is the one I actually did up. Yeah, let me go around to the other side. I left one loose so that I could show you how it moved. Yeah, in fact, I demonstrated it all on the wrong side. So there's that, and there's 2 bolts there and 2 underneath as well. And then this whole arm articulates, and so it can pivot here and here, taking it almost into a, well, that is I'll say almost to 90 degrees. That is 90 degrees. And then all the way out, well, all the way out straight, essentially, which, of course, you would never need. But that's plenty of adjustment there. The height adjustment, you've got in and out adjustment here for the whole bracket, can come in and out. The whole thing can move left to right, but obviously you want it centered, otherwise it'd just be silly. Then you come down here, and you've got your angle adjustment with these 3 here and the same on the other side to allow it to tilt, and then your overall height adjustment by sliding this up and down. Now the 4th monitor, again, these are all held on exactly the same fashion, all have the same adjustment, sort of in and out and pivoting. The upper ones, we've got 2 corner brackets here, 2 here, goes up 2 more of these 5mm brackets, same as what's used here, so they're nice and beefy, and so you've got your angle adjustment for this, and then the same adjustments there, again, corner brackets onto our alley profile. This upper piece does have a little bit of flex in, to be honest, not that you'd see, but it's going to, because of the way it's fitted. Essentially, it's pivoting, in inverted commas, here, so there is going to be some sort of movement if you hang off of it. It's not something you should be doing, and I don't think it will ever be an issue in use. So that is the quad setup. If you want to picture this as a single or as a triple, you simply don't have this piece here attached, and that just leaves you with 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, if you just buy the single setup, you don't have these arms attached here. They're unbolted from there. This piece here is gone, and you're just left with a single setup. This was, in my head, this was the most efficient way of showing you the various options all in one go, rather than dicking about making individual videos and wasting people's time when it's all basically the same. And the same goes for this standalone stand here. You've seen the beefier feet brackets. The reason the legs are all the way to the back is because your monitors will all be forwards, the weight will all be hanging forwards, and so those feet need to stick out forwards to act as a counterbalance or an anti-lever, whatever you want to describe it as. As far as adjustment goes, you could move this whole thing up and down by just slacking off these 2 here, same on the other side, same over there. Whole thing will move up and down, and then this bracket here is exactly the same as all the others. So you've got your in and out and your rotational on there as well, so you can put it exactly where you want. Obviously the legs themselves can be moved right or left to widen or narrow the stance of the whole stand. But yeah, I think that's everything we need to look at from a close-up point of view. I think it's all quite beefy, very neatly done. The only thing, they were a bit stingy with the little plastic covers that go over here, as in so stingy I didn't get any. Whereas on the rig itself, look, we've got these nice little corner covers, and they're exactly the same. So I don't know whether they've just forgotten to send them to me, or maybe they thought, he's a YouTuber, we don't care, we'll be tight and save some money on the bracket covers. I don't know. I'm sure if I was to email GT Omega, they would send me a bag full because they cost absolutely pennies. But yeah, we're missing, or I think we're missing a load of those because I don't have any at all. I've got end caps for here and on here and at the top there and the feet down there. Just nothing for those sort of corner ones. But they do them because, as I say, they're literally there. So if you buy this stuff, and it is all in stock, and you can use my discounted link below, drop them an email and say, oi, Carl says, make sure you send us some fucking corner brackets, covers, because they look much tidier with them. Or at least that's what I would do, if it were me. Anyway, let's spin this bad boy around. That's me getting the screen out, my little groan. Yeah, let's spin that bad boy around. So thank you very much for watching. Any questions? This stuff's all going to be set up here for a little while as yet, whilst I decide what's best to do for my own configuration, and the tape measure will be up here. So if you need any measurements for anything that I haven't covered, ask me in the comments. I'll grab my tape measure and I'll measure up for you. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a great single, triple or quad monitor mount setup for both the one on the rig itself and standalone one. I don't have any complaints about anything sort of functionality wise. The only things I've mentioned a couple of times in the video now is swarf that shouldn't really be there. Quick airline in the factory before packing to clear that off would go a long way, and a distinct lack of corner bracket covers, which I think should really be included, and maybe they will be, you know, in retail packages. Although this is retail packaging, so who knows. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and as always, take it easy.